It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. Ringside Heat is on the air on News Talk Saga 960 AM. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, we're back. My name is Lex Tan, and you can follow the show at ringside_heat. You can follow me at Lex Tan Media, and to my left and to my right here on the StreamYard screen, we've got Colin Dodge at Risen72. You can follow his podcast at KanjiraCast, which is a Godzilla podcast. By the way, Colin, how far into the Godzilla library are you in now?
We're about to do movie 10 of like 50 something. Mm-hmm. So it's going on a little bit of a hiatus, but we'll be back at the end of this month. So it's the last Sunday of every month. The new one drops.
Very nice.
We're getting out of the silly Godzilla from the 70s. Mm-hmm. And we're getting into the revamped, oh, that's right, Godzilla is bad 80s movies. So
yes.
we're getting a turnaround.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we still got to go through the Mecha Godzilla. That's the rest of the 70s. So we'll get there.
Interesting. Yeah. It's amazing how much they could do with a character that's basically a dinosaur that's come back to
7 decades, sir, and counting.
7 decades of a terrible lizard. And also to my other side over here is let me try that again, is our Impact TNA wrestling expert, Chico at Coco Collects. And he's laughing because I sound like I'm a little bit rusty right now. But Chico, welcome back.
What's Impact Wrestling? I know there's a TNA wrestling show called Impact.
I know TNA is interesting now.
Yeah, indeed it is. And I have no podcast about any Godzilla, but let me just grab a random action figure here. I guess we got this guy.
All right.
Yes, he's also our action figure expert as well. It is, for those of you who are not watching on YouTube right now, he's got 1980s Mirage Studios cartoon Krang, which from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, along with the brain and the entire body of that Shredder created for Krang, the brain.
That's right. And I guess it's kind of semi-relevant to where I'm at because I showed my brother-in-law, because I don't think he's ever watched the second live-action Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movie, which is Out of the Shadows, which I know a lot of people
I have either.
Yeah, a lot of people will call it garbage, and it's fine. Very valid. At the same time, I felt of the two Michael Bay live-action Turtles movies, I enjoyed the second one because it felt like they were just letting go of the seriousness and jumping into the silliness of the Mirage cartoon.
I'm sorry, the first one was serious? Anyway, no, I'm sorry.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, these live-action things, they try to ground it in reality sometimes.
Oh,
like,
sure. But then there's also Michael Bay live-action things.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's a whole other podcast we could start.
Yeah, one other tangent that I want to go off on that before we get back to, I don't know, the wrestling or whatever.
Yeah,
the G.I. Joe live-action movies. The first one, Rise of Cobra, had a lot of pew-pew lasers, and it was so silly, but I enjoyed it so much more than the realistic G.I. Joe retaliation that Dwayne tried to do. Because I felt like it tried to take itself too much into the real world, kind of like that kind of application. When I enjoyed the cheesiness and the lasers.
What
was that?
That's the one franchise he didn't save? Oh my god!
Well, he
his whole skit on SNL is garbage now.
Oh, that's. I guess he's not a complete franchise saver. But yeah, no, I mean, in that way, the Out of the Shadows movie to me was so much fun because they had Bebop and Rocksteady, and they dressed them up, even though they were live action. They dressed them up like the 80s costumes. What did you just say? Bless you?
Seamus.
Yeah, Seamus was Rocksteady.
Wow, that's right.
Gary something or another was Bebop. But they were dressed exactly like their 80s counterparts. You know, that they were goofy and everything. And they had, spoiler alert there, Mr. Lextan, but they were trying to bring in the Technodrome. Like Krang was trying to teleport the Technodrome piece by piece.
Krang was there too. Yep.
Jeez.
Yeah, Krang was there too. So anyway, that's where I got a little relevant with the Krang action figure that I randomly grabbed to my right. So
one thing I'll tack on, never watched the G.I. Joe movies. Never liked G.I. Joe as a kid. Transformers all the way. Had no time for G.I. Joe. I don't like war stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, to that end, and we could go on forever, but we won't. I never watched Saving Private Ryan.
Neither have I.
I don't know if I did, so probably not.
Yeah, Tom Hanks. Anyways, Ringside Heat. What's the show about again?
Well, I mean, like, we are coming to our listeners here from the heart of Saga to the soul of the squared circle, Ringside Heat. The truth will hit harder than a steel chair. Today, what's going to be happening is we are going to be talking about freedom and control and the wrestling business, and talk about the different headlines in the wrestling business today. But before we get into this, I just have to say congratulations to the Toronto Blue Jays for making the World Series for the first time since 1993. 32 years that we're going to see a World Series here in Toronto. Woo!
I love it. I'm well documented. I'm not a baseball fan at all, but I am a Toronto fan. And so I always want our Toronto teams to do well. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for you guys that you guys are having so much fun, and Johnny and Jose and everybody too, and Steve, all of it. I'm so glad you guys are so happy. I'm happy it's happening, but it's great. So, but I'm not losing sleep either. So
I think Chico wants to say something, but I think his mic is
You're muted, buddy.
See, this is why eventually when the Stanley Cup comes to Toronto and the Leafs are playing for it, I will probably be in the same position that Colin is right now about baseball. I mean, exactly the same.
So, yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
But but if anything, doesn't matter if you're not a Leaf fan or a hockey fan or anything like that. You have to go at least one time to see the Stanley Cup, because that is a beautiful, beautiful trophy, and it's mesmerizing to see, no matter who you are.
I visited 3 times.
I was going to say, does it count if I visited the Hockey Hall of Fame and seen it in person?
How else are we going to see it? Yes.
Or you could go to a Stanley Cup celebration somewhere in Toronto, because a whole
not in my lifetime.
Yeah. So no. So I have
another team.
Why would I celebrate
winning the Stanley Cup
team?
and bringing it home?
No, I'm not going to celebrate another. No.
So I have
got to
seen
be
it
my
then.
team.
I have seen it then.
Yes, you have.
But
you got to go back
beautiful.
because it's been a long time since you've been there.
Yeah, grade 8, and I'm grading whatever now. So.
The last time I went there, I was like 32. Hockey Hall of Fame's a fun day.
I think if I was grade 8 or something back then when I saw it, maybe I'm grade 32 by now.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't do math, but neither does Lex.
No, not 18%. Yeah. Anyway,
speaking of math, I mean, we had a little bit of Steiner math and Braun Breaker in the world of wrestling. So I mean, a lot of things have happened.
What is going on there? I mean, I know they had to get rid of Seth because he's injured again, but holy smokes, really?
All right. Well, what a teaser!
How many turns can you do in one thing?
Exactly.
Right?
They've stripped the title from Seth as well. So and Braun Breaker, it's Braun Breaker himself. I mean, like he is the progeny of Steiner math, but not direct progeny, but still.
Oh boy.
But yeah, he's claiming he's trying to claim his throne. He's trying to claim his crown in all of this now. So. It's not
going to be the other guy that's there, so yeah, it's got to be him. So,
not yet, I'd say. I think Big Bronson Reed is making headway. He beat Roman 1-on-1.
I didn't know that. Well,
yeah, I mean, just recently. So, yeah, he's
Roman's my guy.
Well, yeah, no, just to update you, Colin. Now they've now escalated, or what is it? Placed Bronson Reed into the higher echelon of WWE.
What?
Echelons.
That was an audible gasp.
I just wanted to say echelon.
You should. Everyone should say echelon at least 3 times a day.
Yeah.
It's good for your soul.
Exactly. It's
and if you see Will Ospreay, explain it to him.
Yep.
I love you, Will Ospreay. Get back soon, please.
Please.
You in AEW.
Please.
Speaking of which, Wrestle Dream also happened. We'll be talking about that later on as well.
It did.
I mean, there are multiple things that I want to talk about as well. I mean, like, there's that, the main event between Mox and Darby. Of course, the finish was fun because Steve Bourne and Sting. I mean, like anybody, nobody's gonna get tired of that guy for sure. But at the same time, the whole the waterboarding segment of the match between Mox and Darby, that's something that we could talk about later on.
And aside from that nonsense, a very good card as well. not just that last match. Yeah.
Yes, and Colin will be running down that card here, the results for you as well later on in the show. At the same time, I also kind of want to talk about Mercedes Moné and her, and her expedition of gold. I'm sorry, no.
You're right. That's not an original idea.
The belt collector thing, because that is a very, very much WWE has that, like, the belt spread out between a whole bunch of people, like in a faction, maybe, like, let's say, like the Judgment Day, but then it's a very indie thing that put like a whole bunch of belts from different promotions on one person, which happened here in Toronto as well, in the Ontario scene several times. So that's something I'd also like to talk about. Plus, I guess thinking about freedom and control as well. The contracts and the non-compete clauses that that WWE is enforcing now, a 1-year thing for certain situations, and then the whole mixed up with Andrade, and then is Jericho going to be able even to go back for a victory lap in WWE while he's still kind of relatively healthy? Who knows? Because of contracts and all that. So those are some of the things that we're going to be talking about later on in the show. But we're going to be taking a break, and we're going to reset, and we're going to get back into the discussion after the break with AEW Wrestle Dream. Colin will be running down the results for you. This is Ringside. Keep back after these promotional considerations. And welcome back to Ringside Heat on News Talk Saga 960 AM. Lex Tan at Lex Tan Media. You can follow me. No, that's where you can follow me, actually. I'm the host and producer of the show. I forgot to mention that, but I think you probably know that by now. Risen72, Colin Dodge. He is our AEW expert. Chico, our TNA wrestling expert at Coco Collects, as well as our action figure expert as well. So let's get into the discussion about AEW Wrestle Dream. Colin, take it away. Tell us what happened at Wrestle Dream.
Okay, so first of all, everyone calm down. They were trying something new to open the show.
Okay.
And I think it worked because you know what? After 30 years of watching wrestling, I saw something new.
Ooh,
they pretended like the match between FTR and Jet Speed ran long. It ran from the pre-show into the opening of the pay-per-view. So halfway during the match, they did the opening pyro for the pay-per-view. I thought it was fun because the match was still happening. Holy smokes, the IWC, they can't even book a pay-per-view. Come on, people. They tried something. I thought it was hilarious. It was great. It was also a very good match between FTR and Speedball. Jet Speed, which comprises of Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight. Yes. They're doing very well. So anyway, it was fun. They did something new. Everybody calm the hell down. All right. So
hold on, Colin. That reminds me. Sorry, Mr. Tan. That does remind me of what WCW used to do on Nitro. I don't know if you remember this.
No.
But they used to do a match, and even if the first hour bled into the second hour, every top of the hour, they'd set off a new set of pyro.
That's right. Yeah, you're
at least initially.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. They also sometimes they'd be in the middle of matches. Too? They did off the top and then top of each hour.
So the whole signature too. Wow, interesting.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about the signature, but they would start as if it's a whole new show in terms of pyro, at least. And some of those episodes, they were right in the middle of a match.
Wow.
So it kind of harkens back to that for me. There you go.
Yeah. So the whole point is just that the action never stops, and it's to hype up more. You know what? Maybe it's a good idea to start watching the pre-show a little bit because they do put matches on. I know it is half. Of course, it's hyping up. It wants people to buy the pay-per-view that's about to happen. I mean, naturally, it's a business. It's trying to sell a product, right? So yes, but I mean, there was Eddie Kingston and Hook took on people we forgot about that mostly wrestle on Ring of Honor. And, of course, Eddie Kingston and Hook defeated them quite handily. Harley Cameron is now teaming with Will Nightingale, so they're going after the tournament for the AEW New World Tag Team Women's titles. Because that's been announced, and so that tournament.
And they did win that match. So
they won that match too against Top Gods, which is also a very good team. Megan Bayne, I think, is already surpassing Penelope Ford. I hope Megan Bayne is making Penelope Ford step up her game because she's been in AEW a lot longer. I think Penelope Ford should be a bit further along because Megan Bayne is just destroying for being a new person in AEW. I don't think she's a brand new wrestler by any stretch.
Well, she's also got a really good gimmick as well too. That like that goddess kind of gimmick that she's got going on, and that's very enticing to watch. Yeah.
And they had great costumes. They were Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was well done. And then, so I mean, pre-show was worth it. Death Riders had a pre-show as well, but it was 1 million people versus another 1 million people. But Orange Cassidy was in the mix, and so that was fun to watch.
Good.
Death Riders won anyway.
Mm-hmm. He also did that a podcast interview a couple of weeks ago when he was talking about his gimmick and how it's actually. We said this before on the show years ago when we were talking about Orange Cassidy initially, but it's his opposite, his nonchalantness, like the anti-wrestler gimmick that makes people want to watch him and bring him into the into the product.
Yeah, I believe, free plug to the show. It's called Casuals, I think. And the point of the show is for casual fans. And I don't know if it's just for casual wrestling fans, but casual fans, I think, of anything. And so, and I forgive me, I don't remember the name of the host. But anyway, she had Orange on. And she started watching because her boyfriend or husband said, "You're going to like Orange Cassidy." And he was talking about people who say that a lot are not wrestling fans, but the connective tissue between them and a person in their loved one who is a wrestling fan is, I know you don't like wrestling, but you're going to like Orange Cassidy. And so, Orange Cassidy loves that compliment. And he said, people, yes, tell him that. That's great. That's why he's doing this job. Otherwise, why else would you do it?
Yes,
wrestling's a crazy industry. Why would you do it? Fine. I'm pretty sure it's called Casuals, but it's very good. It's funny. Yeah, just the other day I watched that. Yeah.
Ringside Heat on News Talk Saga 960 AM. We're talking about AEW Wrestle Dream, and Colin is continuing to go through the card as we continue to banter about whatever else is going on.
Yeah, so pre-show stuff. The pre-show was good. Watch the pre-show. So then we started off, I think this is the order, but anyway, Jamie Hayter versus Tekla, one of the newer additions to the team, and has joined forces with Julia Hart and Sky Blue, and I forget the name of their faction. But anyway, it's hard to remember that Julia Hart's the leader of that faction. They got to work on that a little bit. But anyway, Jamie Hayter did defeat Tekla, so that was good. It was fine. Jurassic Express defeated the Young Bucks in a $500,000 tag team match, so the winner receiving a cash prize. The big question was, what would a dinosaur do with $500,000 or $250,000? Anyway, I guess we'll find out on Dynamite because.
Hey, and Colin, just to interject here, I think that I saw this highlight. They continued the gag with the Young Bucks, and they. Yes. As an entrance video, they showed a financial report.
They showed how much money they blew and why they needed this $500,000
and how they needed it so bad. I think they're the $37 bucks or something like that. Whatever bucks, the final.
It's fantastic. Yeah, it was great. Entrance thing, it's so perfect. Yeah, on Dynamite before, they were yelling at Tony Khan behind closed doors that we need a money match. We're broke again. It was great. So, and then they lost. So,
hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still kind of down on Jack Perry and the Bucks and Kenny Omega and everybody else involved in the CM Punk debacle, including CM Punk. So they all lost a little steam for me in caring about what they're doing. But as a tag match, really fun tag match. I love Luchasaurus. And he's even more Luchasaurus than before, doing very Lucha things as a giant man. So it's very impressive to watch him still. But yeah, he is the crowd was all over him. They kind of forgot Jack Perry was there. Everybody loves Luchasaurus. They love Luchasaurus. It was fantastic. Hurt Syndicate beat the crap out of the Demand. The Demand, if you don't know, is Ricochet's new faction. Everybody gets a faction. He's teamed up with the Gates of Agony, which, sure, Bishop Khan and Toa Leona. That's who they are. But very impressive looking team. Ricochet is awesome. And yeah, Hurt Syndicate are just monsters. Shelton Benjamin included. He is just nasty lately and really took a piece out of Ricochet. It was quite fun match to watch. And MVP, everybody loves MVP still, so he did well. Kyle Fletcher and Mark Briscoe had their 5th match. And it was absolutely fantastic. Kyle Fletcher will be a world champion within the year. He's absolutely doing fantastic with his run. I don't know who's going to take the TNT championship off of him. I mean, I don't think Orange has had that championship, so that would be a fantastic match. But Kyle Fletcher is incredibly impressive lately. So with Ospreay off on injury, we have Kyle Fletcher doing incredible matches. And he wears even more pink than Bret Hart. So yeah.
Yes, he does.
Maybe too much pink. I don't know. Statlander and Timeless Tony Storm, much like Jade Cargill put over Statlander before she left, because again, Statlander, I'm pretty sure it was some kind of multi-woman match for the TBS championship, and Statlander won. This was the rematch of sorts, proving that Statlander didn't get it just because there was 5-6 people in a match going for it. And Jade Cargill put Statlander up.
It's the AEW Women's World Championship, by the way.
This is the Women's World Championship this time, yeah. That's what I mean. So this is the same kind of thing that happened with Jade Cargill and Chris Statlander in the TBS Championship.
Gotcha, okay.
Statlander won it in a 4-way, didn't pin Tony Storm, so this was Tony Storm's kind of thing, and Statlander retains.
Callback.
It was fantastic, and Statlander is the first woman in AEW to have the TBS Championship, and now the AEW World's Women's Champion. No other female competitor has done that.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
So she made AEW history with that victory.
So she's holding both belts now, huh?
No, not both.
Just to have both belts.
Okay, because Mercedes Moné, who we're going to talk about,
has every other women's belt that there is on the planet. Yes.
Yes. Outside of WWE. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. One very interesting thing. After that, Mercedes came out and shooed Chris Statlander away and had an open challenge. And Mina Shirakawa came out and put up her Ring of Honor. Interim. They're still doing interim in Ring of Honor. Interim Women's World Television Championship match, and Mina lost. So that's how Mercedes got her 12th belt. But at the end of that, because I'm thinking the Women's World title is much more important than the TBS Championship, even if Mercedes is holding it. And I thought, why would they have Mercedes come and shoo away the Women's World Champion? I didn't like that. But at the end of that match, Statlander came out and tossed Mercedes out of the ring, holding up her belt and throwing all the other 12 out of the ring. So I thought, Statlander's belt is more important than the TBS belt. So I like that they did keep that up. Because that was a sticking point for me. I'm like, no, the Women's World title, that's the important one. TBS Championship is the IC to the world title in WWE.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So, as good as it is.
Yeah. Now, before we go into this, I did want to take a little bit of a deeper dive when it comes to because we've discussed this before. A friend of ours in the industry is Bia Moss. The last time I saw her, or the last 2 times I've seen her, she was wearing at least a good 6 titles around her, and actually brought all 6 titles to the ring with her for certain shows, and hey, it's because wrestlers have to go into promotion after promotion after promotion. It's not something that I was used to seeing growing up in WWE. I mean, like in WWE, if somebody held 2 belts, it was like, oh my god, holy crap! It
was 2 WWE belts.
Thing.
Yeah,
was it. Exactly. And even back in the day when Ultimate Warrior had his and Hulk Hogan,
stupid yellow belt. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And everything. It was what was that match? It was the world title and the Intercontinental title at the same time that they were competing for WrestleMania 6. That's the craze.
Yep. Title for title.
Yep. And so that was, and so that already raised the stakes. Now, here's the thing: having 12 belts like this. Now, what kind of stakes does that raise? And how? And is it does it even raise any stakes? Does it like dilute dilute the idea of the title, or what are your thoughts about how about her having these many titles to lug around?
As far as I can tell, because it's not that the other competitors are coming to AEW to get their titles back. She's going to those other promotions. Mm-hmm. Like she's the one doing all the traveling. So if she's in AEW, then it's defending the TBS one and maybe the Ring of Honor one, depending on who it is, right? So, but it's going to be defending AEW belts. And if she goes to another promotion, now there could be a thing, maybe at the next Forbidden Door, you might have a few or not from the other promotions show up and challenge her there. That kind of thing can happen. But I think the deal right now is that she's traveling to the other promotions, going to get them and defending them over wherever they happen to be. So, so it's not like when she eventually faces Statlander might end up with 13 belts. So keeping her current belt, and then, here's another 12. I'd be like, you know what? I don't need all 12.
I think it's neither here nor there for me. I mean, the comparison that they're drawing now, of course, is calling Mercedes Ultimo Monet, which is, of course, the title they gave to Ultimo Dragon, because he was the previous belt collector whose record Mercedes has just surpassed.
Yeah,
so 11, now they're
got 12 now.
That's right. So they're calling her Ultimo Monet, and so Ultimo Dragon, that's great and all, but I've always been like a mostly WWF, WWE guy. Mm-hmm. So if I didn't really care that much about Ultimo Dragon and his indie belts back then, sorry to say, I love Mercedes, but I'm not really like, I'm not, it doesn't move the needle for me, even if she has 12 belts, because a lot of those promotions are your podunk, like indie championships that it's like stepping stones to more legitimate promotions. No disrespect to any of the champions that she's collected belts from and everything, but it's just I'm not really sure that I see that much value other than padding Mercedes' stats herself. Well, and it is building her legacy, and by consequence, it's going to build whomever she loses each title to and kind of catapult them a little, because she's going to be losing these titles to these other people, and they're going to beat the great Ultimo Monet or Mercedes Monet. So it'll have that positive effect in the future for these people. So it is a positive thing. But for me personally, I'm not really sure that it moves the needle that much, because I'm more so focused on, I guess, the biggest company right now, and I don't have a whole lot of time to even tune into AEW. So I love what Mercedes Moné is doing for her, but it doesn't kind of make me tune in. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's just me.
No, but the reciprocation is more defined because it's reciprocation for people who are local to those other promotions, because now they're going to really sell tickets to go see, especially if Mercedes shows up. But, if you look up your list of belts, you're going to hear company names you've never heard of, right? And so, I mean, and that's the point. This is now free ad space in a dirt sheet article for all these indie promotions. I didn't know there was a prime time wrestling, and it's great. So Diana Strong used to be the champion there. I don't know who that is, but I just read her name on a radio station in Toronto.
Interesting.
Rev Pro, I think some of the other things. I don't know.
AEW TBS champion. Rev Pro undisputed.
CMLL, of course.
That's the Owen Hart Foundation tournament champion winner,
which is not technically a belt.
It's an AEW belt. It is a belt. It's a tournament belt.
Sure.
Just like the G1 belt, right? It is a tournament belt, but it's another AEW championship for sure. But
best women's champion, Discovery Wrestling, Body Slam women's,
because it's an undisputed belt. So.
Interim ROH Women's Television Champion, Winnipeg Pro Wrestling Women's Champion. Her titles cover America, England, Mexico, Denmark, Austria, Italy, Poland, Scotland, and Canada. So more than 3 countries for sure.
So
and so a little bit, and so we also had. We don't have time, too much time in this segment, but we'll go. Brodito defeating the Don Callis family. Hangman Adam Page retains his title against Samoa Joe, his AEW World Championship, and then the
Bad
Darby
Man
Allin.
Samoa Joe is back. Watch that match.
Ooh.
Scary Samoa Joe is back.
Ooh,
Fantastic.
so
the promo
Joe's gonna kill
beforehand
you, Samoa
and the
Joe.
match itself. He is a killing machine once again, even though he lost.
Well, yeah, and that's good because I think he's winding down too.
Yep.
So he needs that one big, huge run.
He's got to run up here so he can go have AJ's last match next year.
I hope so. Oh, don't even
Wouldn't that be
tease me,
amazing?
man.
I would love that.
That
That's
would be
great.
amazing.
Their TNA Impact history. Come on.
Yeah.
And then we have the Darby Allin, John Moxley match. I Quit, Marina Shafir ringside. Of course, Sting comes in at the end as well. But this is something that we were discussing before the show, actually, Colin, before Chico got into the studio. I am still. I mean, like, in essence, there is an off switch on the TV. There is a close window function on your browser, and you don't have to watch something that doesn't appeal to you. It's all up to, number one, the wrestling fans' discretion, and but at the same time, parents also have that kind of power to control what they want their children to see. But at the same time, it's like, is it appropriate for even just the thought of putting on a waterboarding segment? And what else he said? He mentioned like sticks underneath the fingernails or something like that.
Fingernails, yeah. Now I don't like those matches, so I fast forwarded. I wasn't able to watch Wrestle Dream live, so I did fast forward through that. Which, yeah, because I don't like those matches. I went right to the end. I saw a controlled stunt. I thought it was silly to be in a wrestling ring and a wrestling match. I don't like that. Anyway, I don't like all that. Love Sting making the save. Love the end. All that was fine. The story progression of it is great. Renee Paquette putting on a clinic beforehand in the pre-show about how is this person her daughter's father. Like, they're really blending it well. It's like, after this, do I let him play with our daughter? Like, it's very many levels all around it, right? I found that more uncomfortable. Oh, wow. And but yeah, like, I don't like that kind of stuff. I like the end. I like the story that's going through. But I mean, I raise you to Car Battery, to Shane McMahon's what can we say on this channel?
Nether regions.
Nether regions.
You can say that Kane electrocuted his testicles.
Yeah, his testicles. Yes, it was clearly a mannequin, but set the Fiend on fire. Like, there's wrestling of all. I know I'm naming WWE things because that's what I've watched the most. But we are littered gunplay between Brian Pillman and Stone Cold. That was in the 90s. You know what I mean? Like, there's a ton of stuff going, kids should not see this. I know they do, and all that kind of thing. And yeah, like, it's not up to TBS. It's not up to the pay-per-view, whoever's running the pay-per-view, HBO Max or wherever you watch it, or Netflix or all this kind of thing. Stuff's there. You got to know what's out there. Understand what the rating is. Watch stuff with your kids to see what they're watching. I mean, I'm not even a parent. I have no place in giving this kind of advice. It's just going through what I went through watching this stuff. I had one TV in my living room, and Sable was in the Attitude Era. How do I explain that when my mom walks by? Going, you know what I mean? Yes, exactly. Yeah, that very scene. I'm like, yeah, this is wrestling. What is that? I'm a teenager.
And that's the thing. Should there be more responsibility for this stuff? I mean, yes, back in the 90s, it was just shock TV, and that was the culture at the time. And yes, you could get away with that a little bit more, even on TV. Of course, this is a pay-per-view. This is a different story. Regulations are much different.
It wasn't Wednesday night on TBS or TSN, if they remember. They have it. Yeah,
it's past midnight.
What?
Oh, at this point, the match was past
midnight. So
wow.
At that point, parents, if you're letting your kids stay up that late, that's on you.
But it's a Saturday night, Chico. They don't have to get up early on Sunday if they're not.
This is fair enough, but I mean, like, this is part of the debate that Lex is raising here. So I think that, just to chime in, I guess my couple of thoughts on it. You know, like, I personally might not care to watch a waterboarding stunt, but it's fiction and it's a controlled stunt, like Colin said. So I'm not really severely disturbed by it.
I'm gonna have to just cut Chico's mic there because it was starting to go garbled a little bit. But I guess maybe it might be the connection or something. But
how about now?
That's a lot better.
Okay, so I don't know where I was, but I'm just gonna kind of restart.
A controlled stunt.
Yeah, well,
is it on and off again?
It started happening again. So you know what we'll do? What we'll do? We'll take a little bit of a break over here. We'll reset. We'll get to the end of that discussion right there, and then we will, and then we'll get into because Samoa Joe is thinking about he might join up with AJ Styles for a retirement match or something like that. This whole thing about non-compete clauses and the control that the organizations have. We'll be back after these promotional considerations. Welcome back to Ringside Heat on News Talk Saga 960 AM, your favorite podcatcher, and on YouTube. Lex Tan at Lex Tan Media, Ringside Heat at Ringside_Heat, joined here in this discussion panel with Colin, our AEW expert at Risen72, and also his Godzilla podcast at Canjiracast. That's CanJiracast, Apple and Spotify. And Chico, he is our TNA wrestling expert, our toy expert as well, and big Blue Jay fan as well. He's got that Blue Jays hat now that he's wearing at the backwards at the moment, and his little caption underneath is "Toys are me." Yeah, and how apt. Anyway. So back to the discussion that we had just before we went to break about the Darby Allin John Moxley match, controlled discussions. Chico, you had you had something that you needed to say as well. So.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, sure, there was a waterboarding simulation, but it's no different than a version of that we've seen on action movies. It's a controlled stunt. So this is the whole thing about sports entertainment getting a bad rap sometimes, and pro wrestling being, I guess, trash talked compared to other forms of entertainment. It doesn't bother me that much. I thought it did at first, but it's because the practice of waterboarding is disturbing. But its inclusion as part of AEW programming, I'm not too disapproving of it. It's not my taste, but I think they have the license to do it. They're not hurting for sponsor money because the cons are rich. So they can do practically whatever they want. I mean, Colin might have brought up either on air or off air comparisons to the Attitude Era. I will say that the company has since become a publicly traded company, and so they have to have gotten rid of those things. So those are no longer part of the WWE's practice. So they have to kind of cater to families now and their stockholders and everything. So relevant to what the WWF would have been back then, but irrelevant to them now as a comparison. But I would say that since AEW doesn't have as much of a leash, it's fair game. I'm gonna call back to a little bit of our discussions years ago, where fluorescent glass and everything, not my cup of tea. But Tony Khan can bring in like Nick Gage and GCW style antics anytime he wants to. It's his show. Yeah. And I will, again, last thing I'm going to say, whether anyone agrees or not, I did hear some other very respectable voices chime in on this same thing we're talking about. But yeah, I think some of it is is on the shoulders of parents who are letting their kids watch. And if they're watching the exorbitantly long pay-per-views that Tony Khan is putting on and letting little kids watch the matches that are past midnight, where stuff like that might be fair game, then that's less a comment on AEW and more a comment on parents of minors who are allowing them to watch at that hour and that kind of content. So again, like Colin, I am definitely not the best person to give this kind of there's no judgment on my part. I'm just kind of observing some parts of it that have been pointed out by others too. I think it's not like they're calling themselves a G-rated show or even PG. I think they're probably a little more TV 14 and up.
Yep.
So I think they have a certain license to be able to do it. Whereas as a WWE viewer, I'm stuck with WWE pushing the censor button on crowd chants. Come on. So, I mean, there's pros and cons on both sides. I want a little bit more audio freedom on my part in WWE. So I don't know. I guess who am I to judge what kind of watery situation Moxley's putting Darby Allin in? Like, it doesn't bother me as much as it could.
Colin, what do you say? Last word to you.
Yeah, last thing. I'll defend those matches can exist, but I don't have to watch them. And I fast forwarded till the end, and I thought I'm going to keep fast forwarding until something cool happens. And I thought, hey, wait a minute, is that? And then I played normally, and Sting showed up, and it was awesome again. And so the last 5 minutes was fantastic, but I skipped over that match. I don't like torture porn, but it can exist. I just don't have to watch it.
Yeah. No, it's exactly, and it's it's the freedom that we have and the choice that we have to make on our own, and also for our parents out there, the choices that they make for their kids if they wish to show that that material to them. But something that actually is might conflict with the idea of the wrestling, I guess, for lack of a better term, between freedom and freedom and control is the non-compete clauses that are coming up right now. Now, normally over the past few years, over the past, I don't know how many long, that the internet wrestling community has been aware of non-compete clauses, but they're usually 90 days. You leave WWE, you can't appear on another show, another wrestling TV show for 90 days. So, and of course, Andrade, I guess in a sense violated that. Was it Andrade who violated that non-compete clause? And because
I think he was under the impression he didn't have a non-compete thing, and so he just showed up. He was there on Wednesday, the very next night, or maybe it was Collision, but either way, he was there as soon as he could be on AEW TV. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And but now but now we're hearing of 1 year non-compete clause. It's
just
like
crazy.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're telling you're telling a craftsman that he can't carve for a year.
Yeah.
And it's you're telling, and it's insane. I do not like the whole 1 year thing, because that is a huge chunk of your life as a wrestler, not just for your career and your in-ring abilities, but it's also a big chunk of your income as well, especially if you are going to be making your money off of TV appearances as opposed to indie appearances.
Yeah,
I will say this. I'm not going to get as worked up about it as maybe some other people are. I know that I haven't really heard way too much about it. Not that I've looked up a lot of wrestling, quote unquote, journalism lately. They're all adults signing contracts. So there are some parts of these contracts that indicate these clauses, and that is what they sign up for. They also should be reading their contracts to say that if they get terminated for cause, that there are certain clauses that extend that non-compete. So it's all part of the contract that is legally binding that they've signed. So to me, nothing to get worked up about. Andrade must have violated a clause to earn that 1 year non-compete. I am not bothered at all. I'm sure this has existed since time immemorial. We're just hearing about alleged reports of some contracts. We're not even sure that this exists.
None of us have a copy of the exact contract.
Exactly.
Find out where these clauses are, of course. Yeah.
But again, they're grown-ups that have signed grown-up contracts.
Mm-hmm.
So if they are in trouble and they get ensnared in that, I'm not mad at it. They signed for it.
Yeah. The first thing I think of, and it's momentum. And especially now more than ever, whether it's WWE, AEW, or whatever, our attention spans are shorter and shorter and shorter.
Yes.
We don't see somebody for 3 weeks, we forget they exist. And that can just be in our daily lives, let alone wrestling TV, and so I think of when Cody had like that whole pec thing. Remember when he fought Seth, obviously, with that, and then he was gone for a while. I think it took an extra year for him to finally win at Mania because his momentum was gone. When he finally came back, I felt, I was still watching at that time, his momentum was right back at the bottom, and they were still talking about him all the time he was gone. So momentum for somebody who's completely gone from TV and nobody's even talking about them, a year is crazy. Yes, this is a contract they signed, but maybe you have no choice. You have to sign that contract anyway. But a year is crazy. 6 months can be tricky. And a year is just nuts. And then I think, Lex, you mentioned at the top, was like, is this going to prevent from Jericho doing a victory lap in WWE? Will this non-compete stop him from his wrestling cruise? Because if he can still do that, he might take the hit because he'll still do his wrestling cruise.
Hey, intriguing part of that rumor mill, by the way. If you look it up, the Jericho Cruise talent lineup includes 0 contracted AEW talent.
Oh, interesting.
0.
I thought Orange was there all the time, though.
No, not this time.
Oh, interesting.
0 contracted AEW talent. This was pointed out by some reporters. So,
nice.
There may be, this lends credence to the rumors that maybe Jericho is trying to do his own WWE retirement tour. It's very possible.
Which I'm absolutely fine with if that's something he wants to do.
I don't think the non-compete would be operative here because he would be in negotiations with Tony, and this is Chris Jericho, not some Andrade loser. I'm just kidding.
And I don't know if Tony's doing the non-compete thing. I honestly don't know that.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Yeah. He does for some. He does for some, for sure, that I've heard.
I mean, I know Jade went into NXT training, but I don't think that was because of a non-compete, though.
Yeah,
I think that was just to go through NXT training.
Yeah, so all of these contract things in the background, I'm not too upset about. It's just we're hearing people chirp about it. That's what is upsetting some people, I think. But all of these things have existed for years and years, and so I think
we're
Jericho
just learning about it now.
Yeah. If Jericho is truly trying to sort of let his AEW contract expire and then do a victory lap in WWE, I'm all about it, man. And I think he can do it. I think if anyone knows how to work the system and go back to one or the other, it's Chris Jericho. Yep. And everyone would be respectful of him either way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's one of those guys. I'm happy that he does anything he wants to do to end his career, just like AJ, just like Taker. And he's one of those just upper echelon guys. Yeah, there it is. Do what you want to do to finish it, like the Hardys, like the Dudleys. Do however you want to finish it. I'm happy for you. I don't care about the brand you're attaching it to.
Yeah, like Cena. Like Cena gets to finish the way he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Except, well, all right.
Yeah, I mean, like that's and
it was real bad, guys. I'm sorry, it was real bad.
but you see that you do see that for the greats of any sport. And Michael Jordan, he had his victory tour. Kobe Bryant had his victory tour. And Derek Jeter. I mean, Derek Jeter. He himself has also had that one victory lap, and somehow he got the game-winning hit in his final at bat at Yankee Stadium, and where the Yankees won, but fortunately for the Blue Jays, the Yankees lose.
Need I say more?
Yes, exactly. but I guess to cap it all off, I mean, the episode I wanted to talk about freedom and control. I guess we kind of like went around that and like and touched on that. So this is an actual kind of interesting proverb I found out there. Freedom is the rope that we climb. Control is the turnbuckle that holds us steady. Lose either, and you fall. And for that, I want to thank Colin at Risen72, at KanJiraCast, Chico at Coca Collects, and thank you to all of you for listening on Saga 960, YouTube, or your favorite podcatcher. My name is Lex Tan. You can follow me at LexTan Media. Follow the show at Ringside_Heat, and we remember the things that you probably forgot.
Bye, guys.